Roads by Robert Fritz. Narrated by Rosalind Fritz. By now, everyone knows the famous line from Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, which is, the road less travelled. This line has come to mean doing something different from everyone else, going your own way, finding and exploring paths that others haven't discovered. Yet that is not at all what Frost was getting at. Like another one of his lines, good fences make good neighbours, people's interpretation is opposite to what he meant. In Mending Wall, the good fences line is said by a rather dull neighbouring farmer. He says it out of ignorance and an inability to understand that the character on the other side of the fence is mocking the need for a fence. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. That's when he says the good neighbour line. Frost doesn't leave it there. He writes, "Spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbours? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offence. Something there is that doesn't love a wall." Now, when you read the actual poem, you can't miss the meaning. Anyone who understood the poem would never cast themselves as the dull farmer repeating an old cliché. Yet people have come to think that there is wisdom in the good fences line. Quite the opposite of what Frost was saying in the poem. And the two roads thing, again something twisted from its original meaning. The situation in the poem is that the character is describing walking through the woods when he comes across a fork in the road. He looks down one as far as he can, and then takes the other one, the so-called road less travelled. But according to the poem, there isn't a lot of difference between the two roads. Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. In other words, the road less travelled was not the road less travelled, given they were equal. After years of glorification of the road less travelled, Frost told the story of how he came to write the poem. He said he had a friend that no matter what he did, would regret he didn't do something else. In other words, the protagonist of the poem is actually complaining about having taken the road he had taken. Hard to glorify the road not taken once you know it is said, with the irony Frost describes this way. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. As Yogi Berra said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it.